You know what it is, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy. You know who it is, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy. Ode, Mari, sorry, Mari.
Mari, sorry, Mari, sorry.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, no.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy. It's the Black and Sturdy podcast with Ode and Mo. Woo! Hello, everyone. We are back for another episode of the Black and Sturdy podcast, the only podcast hosted by two black sexy nerds, giving you all the information that you need, that you want, that you crave, that you must have, and just shooting the shit.
We're shooting the shit.
We're shooting the shit.
It's the best part.
It's the best part of doing the show with you. How are you? Also, I am Maurice.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the
Black and Sturdy podcast.
Yes, we
where
are.
nerds of a feather flock together.
See? Sometimes I remember to do that. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
I'm feeling pretty good. A little bit tired.
I am tired. I'm also hungry. And I'm a bit sore. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I'm super excited to.
How are you sore? Like, was it from?
I don't know. I feel like maybe I slept a little wrong.
Okay, yeah.
Or like just being out and about. Like it's just a lot. There's a lot going on. It's like a long week. Mm-hmm. My body's getting up there, and she's just like, hey, we would like to rest. We would not. Like to
you're
have this.
Notoriously terrible on your body. As far as like you're constantly doing something, going somewhere. You don't sit your ass down. You got like what? You're going to Thailand, Germany, the fucking Yucatan Peninsula, some shit.
Yucatan Peninsula. Yes, I'm going to the Yucatan Peninsula.
You said Japan just now?
No. I said Yucatan.
Okay, you can. Okay. Yeah. Or kits.
Well, we're going to kick off this episode.
Yes.
And the last episode during Black History Month.
And episode 68.
Yes, we're one episode away from the very special episode. And and we are actually, this is our 2-year podcast anniversary.
Is it?
It's like I think it was maybe last week. But we started recording February 2021.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
that is cool. Yeah, look at that.
Recording during Black History Month. We are part of Black history.
Yes,
Black
we are.
Podcast history.
Yes, we are.
Our voices will be around forever.
Yes.
And 20 years from now, people are going to be listening to the show like, what the fuck were they talking about?
Yes, when the cyborgs rise up
they're going to be listening
they
to
have us in milking camps. Yeah, because apparently we make good batteries. They will huddle, the small masses of humanity will huddle around a single fucking iPod, or in which has like the entire collection of the Black and Sturdy podcast downloaded onto it, and listen to our voices,
and they'll love it
as we talk
We're
about.
gonna get 5 stars.
And they ain't shit.
Everyone, please don't forget you can find us on Anchor, on Spotify, on Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast.
Yeah, wherever you download your podcast. And
share.
She's gone.
Share, like, subscribe, comment. All of those things. We need you. We need your support. But we're going to start it off with a Black History Month fact. Today's Black History Month shout out goes to Andrea Jenkins, who made history in 2017 when she became the first openly black trans woman to be elected into public office in the United States. She's excuse me. As well as being a politician, she's also a poet, an activist, and a community historian. And we are shouting her out. She is let me find where she's actually was voted in. If it's right here. In Minneapolis. So that's very dope. Shout out to you. And we look forward to having more black trans people in government. We need it, obviously, with the amount of vitriol and hate and shenanigans are coming out constantly. So yeah, there's our Black History Month fact. Look up Andrea Jenkins, Black Living History, still in office. So, you know, if you're in Minneapolis, check her out, reach out to her, talk to her, and, you know,
Write a letter to her.
Write a letter, say thank you.
Yeah, say thank you, what's up, how's it going?
Yeah.
What is an ombudsman?
What is it?
I don't know.
It's an ombudsman. Like
I know it's like a lower rung politician.
So the thing is, in a newspaper,
right?
an ombudsman is like an op-ed writer. They give the opinions, but in political sense, I don't know really what an ombudsman is.
Because
like, seen it.
Because it's always whenever you see like politics depicted in the media, it's always like the first level of getting into government is like a council person or something. Like getting into like your local city council or something.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like maybe
But what's an ombudsman?
A lower rung person, who just maybe they like give opinions and maybe it's like a, I don't know, give advice. I don't know, but if y'all know, please write in, comment, let us know.
Ombudsman,
if you're
wish death upon me. Okay.
If you're an ombudsman,
that might be the title.
Can you please write in and let us know what you actually do? You want to know what always gets me confused? A whip.
Yeah. Oh well, I learned a little bit about the whip, during that scant 5 or 4 years before Kevin Spacey got canceled. Because that was basically like the whole impetus of that show on Netflix that I'm blanking on. House of Cards. Yes, because he started off as the whip. Representing North Carolina or South Carolina. I forget. I clearly don't go back and watch it. It's clearly like even outside of Kevin Spacey being a monster or whatever like that. The show was just too dry. You know what I mean?
It was a dark, dry show.
It was a dark, dry show.
You can't be dark and dry.
It's just politics, and it's just like even the sex scenes seem like they're dry. Like nobody has lube. Like everybody's orifices are like
just sandpaper.
Just Sahara Desert levels of lacking moisture. Yeah.
Well, are you?
What was that noise?
That's the sandpaper.
Oh, okay.
Rubbing together.
Ew.
Starting fires. Are you ready to jump into our pop culture segment?
No, because I'm ready to get these questions out the way. Yes.
Questions.
Q&A with
Q&A
O&M.
O&M. Yes, you're correct.
Yes.
All right. I'm shuffling.
Yes, you're shuffling these 2 cards.
All right, you don't know which one.
I don't know which is which.
It's gonna be closer to you.
Okay, but I mean I do.
You first of all, I didn't tell you to touch it yet.
With the hand that's right next to my hand, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay, you're first.
What's the best story you heard about your grandparents? Oh, well, this bums me out.
Why? This is good.
I don't have a lot of stories about my grandparents.
You do. I've heard so many stories about your grandparents.
The only story that I have about my grandparents,
you don't have anything about pop.
Would you have to understand is that like my grandparents have been passed away for well over a decade at this point. Like my grandfather passed away when I was going literally like the week before I started college. And then it is what it is. And then my grandmother passed away while I was in college. And I feel like did they all pass away while I was in college? No, I don't know. It's been a long time. And so, like, maybe I'm just not around when people are telling stories of my grandparents. Like, and maybe that's more of an indictment on me. I should probably be around my family more so that I can hear these stories. However, I will say my grandfather was an A-raver. Which is an A-raver. It has nothing to do with what you're thinking.
What is that?
An A-raver is
the V, not a B.
Not a B. A V, I believe. Is a food merchant on horseback in Baltimore.
Really?
Yes.
I'm
I'm gonna look up the spelling of this. Cause
I mean, but how long were they doing that until? Because your grandpa was not. Oh, you can't hear us? Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, can you hear us now? I just put the volume up.
Can you hear? Yeah, let us know if you could hear us. Or if we're not projecting enough. Cause you better believe, like I can speak from the diaphragm. All right, like I can speak from right now in the soul where my belly button is, I guess.
This is a diaphragm.
Yeah, that is a diaphragm. Yeah, A-Rapper. Hold on. Yeah, hold on.
Put A-Rapper Baltimore.
All right, yeah, A-Rapper.
I've never heard of this term, but it's curious that your pop would have been doing this.
Oh, I guess it is A-Rapper.
It is a B.
Oh, okay.
But it's curious that he would be doing that if that feels like that would have been something that finished.
Yeah.
So,
A-Rapper. I used to say A-Rapper. I don't know why. But A-Rapper is a street vendor selling fruits and vegetables from, he would sell watermelons. So he'd go like, watermelons! Yeah. So
that's cool. And with a horse.
Yeah, with a horse, yeah.
It just doesn't feel like that, like, I mean, I know, like, Baltimore has a very long history of black people working as merchants and doing, like, different type of hawking in a variety of things. Yeah. But I wouldn't think that they would have still been on horseback.
Well, I mean, they had, like, a horse and cart. It was like a horse and buggy.
That's still,
you can see this picture right here.
Yeah, that's cool. They still have some of them.
Yeah, look at that.
All right, well, that's dope.
Yeah. There's a long history of A-Rappers. That I am actually curious about. I might actually do more digging into this.
Yeah, that's something cool.
Might talk to my mom and be like, hey, like, can you tell me some stories about Pop? And Granny too, because you know, Granny deserves some.
Olivia your mom's mom or your dad's mom?
Olivia is my mom's mom, and Pop is Olivia's husband, not my biological grandfather.
But still the same.
Still my grandfather, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know any stories about my mom's actual father. I don't know what that story is.
But hey,
and I'm not even gonna hazard to guess.
What are your father's parents' names?
Cynthia and Roy Licorice Sr.
Oh.
I got them. Oh, wrong
arm.
I got their initials on the arm. So that's Cynthia Licorice, and I think that's Olivia Cornish, William Cornish, Roy Licorice, Cynthia Licorice.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
So my grandparents, I would say, well, I think I already told a story that I knew about, like, my grandfather, my grandpa Matuforo, from my dad's side.
Yes.
But a cool story about my pop, a.k.a. Floyd McKissick, my mother's father, was that he was a stonemason, so he had his own business, which at the time in the 50s and 60s for a black man was in Long Island still very rare, and it was also a very he was a popular stonemason. His clients really loved him, and one of his clients was James Brown.
Ooh.
And my grandmother always used to love to say how she got to go to James Brown's house. And, like, meet him. I guess it was probably, like, maybe my grandfather had to do something at the house, drop something off, and she was probably like, hey, can I come? My Nana went with him, and he was very nice. They spoke, had conversation. And, yeah, he was doing work for them for a little bit on his house in Long Island.
I feel like I may have heard this story before because my response is about to be the same thing. Did she ask him how he was doing? Did she ask him how he felt?
She did not.
Okay.
What would he have said if she asked him how he felt?
Isn't that the $1 million question?
I feel good. Da-na-na-na-na-na. I knew that I would now. Yeah, so shout out to my Nana and Pop, Ellen and Floyd McKissick. And shout out to my grandma and grandpa, Matuforo and Clementine, eBay. We love you all. Thank you, grandparents, for
thank you, ancestors.
Sure that we could be here and bestowing upon us all of your love, your joy, your beauty. Like, it wouldn't be us. We wouldn't be us without you.
You walked so that we could sit and complain on the internet.
Exactly.
There we go.
Okay, this is an interesting question.
Yes.
Which is the best movie villain ever created?
Oh, now you know me. You know the nerd in me wants to say, like, Darth Vader. I know you'll probably say fucking Voldemort.
First of all, you don't know my life.
Well, you're not gonna say fucking Gaston or the one rapey dude in the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors or some shit like that. Steve Martin or whatever like that. He wasn't rapey. I was thinking of somebody else. He was
kind of abusive though.
In Greece. Yeah, he was abusive. So
he could have been rapey.
Suddenly Seymour. But that's not the question. It might be for me. Okay, so it could be a movie villain. Okay, yeah. Movie villain. All right, because like I was thinking Ozymandias from Watchmen. But I don't think the execution. Yeah, it is a movie, but I don't think the execution of his.
Oh, was as good as in the
Yeah,
show?
Because like when I'm thinking of a movie villain, I'm thinking like their performance in addition to like what the actor brings to it, not just the character itself. You know what I mean? Ooh, it might be Joker from The Dark Knight. It might be. Yeah. It might be Heath Ledger's fucking turn. You know, I don't watch that movie all that often because I want to like preserve that performance. Mm-hmm. I don't like. That's why I don't like binge it. It's kind of like Gurren Lagann to me, where like maybe once a year, once every few years, or like the Godfather trilogies, how my dad treated those, where I'll watch it once a year, once every couple of years, just to like get the most out of it, as opposed to just like now it's the same background shit that I watch while I'm doing work or slacking off or whatever, you know. But I'm gonna go with Dark Knight's Joker.
Okay, that's a good one. I just because this is one of the more recent movies I've seen, and I also really loved this villain who I feel. Well, okay. Funny enough, I was thinking of Killmonger first. Yeah. But I have to give it to my man Namor.
Okay, that's fair.
Because, I mean, hey.
He's got that.
Take me to the deep sea, baby.
He's got that Seymour down in his Namors. Down in the deep abyss.
Take me to the deep sea. No, but I think in general.
Take me to the river.
I think that, like, Killmonger and Namor, I would say it's like head to head for them. Mm-hmm. I just think Namor's acting was a little bit better than Killmonger.
Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, we might watch that tonight just
that would be good, yeah.
Just to see.
But I think that I would say right now it would be a head to head between them, but like Namor inches out a little bit more. I loved his backstory. To me, he's not really a villain, actually. Mm-hmm.
He's an antagonist.
He's an antagonist. But he's not a villain. But as it's placed in the story of the Marvel Universe in the Wakanda Forever, he was the villain. Yeah. So yeah, that would be it for me.
Okay, that's fair. All right, now are we ready to enter the depths of the pop culture sphere?
Yes. Which button do I press?
You can press the blue one.
This must be pop. All right. So
otherwise, we'll dive in.
Ugh. Are you ready to start off with some? Would you like a spot of tea?
I just wasn't prepared for that. It was It was shocking. So many things was happening at the same time. Like I think I had a hiccup and I breathed, and then you said that, and then that was my reaction.
Would you like a spot tea?
Okay. Sure.
All right. Well,
are you gonna spill the tea?
I'm gonna spill the tea.
Oi.
On King Charles.
Ends.
On King Charles' coronation.
Mm-hmm.
So as you all know,
yes,
King Charles Queen died. King is now the king, but he still has to have his big party to be like, I'm here. This is my coming out party.
Yeah.
I'm coming out.
I just can't wait to begin.
And so, of course, with most coronations, any sort of like, coronation, inauguration, they want to have a really great, really big artist to sing at the coronation. Mm-hmm. Like, remember Obama's first coronation? He had Beyonce.
Oh, of course, that was such
Could you
a
imagine?
great
Could you
coronation.
imagine a Beyonce?
Who performed at Biden's? Do we even know?
I couldn't. Sorry,
I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. Only other one that I remember of most recently was Chrisette Michele and Trump, and because she got.
Oh yeah, because she got dragged for that. Did she actually do it, or
she did it?
Oh wow,
she did in a little Basquiat skirt. But King Charles, so he has been asking people such as Elton John, the Spice Girls, Harry Styles, Adele, and some other popular British acts.
Probably U2.
Probably. And all of them had said,
nah.
Deuces, sorry. We're busy. We got other scheduling conflicts. But I think that it's just hilarious. And I told you, what did I tell you when the Queen died? That Diana was gonna figure out how to reach up
from the grave,
grab him by the balls, and say, "Fuck you, Charles." Mm-hmm. Because they're already, they have it's a whole bunch of contention because of the diamonds they're gonna wear in their crowns. Who's wearing what blood diamond? Yeah, like that's been a whole thing. And now you can't find any big artists to act. Who you gonna get? Craig David? Like
Craig David.
That's no shade to Craig David. I love. Tell me how do you see it?
We can make love on Wednesday and on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, chill on Sunday.
And listen, get Craig. He's a popular like DJ and like house music artist in the UK. But
oh my God!
I'm sure
what
he
if
would love that?
What if they got Central C?
Central C?
How can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay.
Not Doja.
Yes.
Not Doja.
All right, this is my plea to King Charles. Please get Central C to play your ceremony, inauguration, whatever the fuck it is. Please do it, because there's nothing better than the royal family being sworn in with this long hegemony fucking legacy to just some dude who's just like, how can I be homophobic? My bitch is gay.
Please do it. Get some drill artists in there.
Get some drill artists.
Do you want to feel? You want the black and colored folk of the UK and the world to appreciate you and to forget about all your racist colonization and imperialism.
Get them.
Get some drill music. I wanna be sturdy at the inauguration.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I understand why people like Adele would not sign up for this, because they're not trying to get Chrisette Michele. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to get canceled or dragged for performing at this extremely outdated, ridiculous pomp and circumstance.
Unless the bag was like really
it would have to be
good.
like I'm gonna be good to buy, like my kids are gonna have. And titles.
Even if the bag is really good, like, I'm not gonna lie, if it was me, I would just phone in the performance. You know what I mean? Like I would sit on a chair.
Yeah, I'm not doing a big ballad.
Yeah, I would be like, I'm not saying that she phones it in, but who is that R&B artist who sits on the chair in all of her performances? Summer Walker.
She does phone in. She said she does. She don't like performing.
She doesn't like performing.
She doesn't like people.
Okay, well then, yeah.
Get Summer Walker to do your...
Yeah. Get Summer Walker.
Get Summer Walker. She'll do it.
Get the chair that Summer Walker sits on to do it.
But
that would be more interesting than
that was
anything.
Really funny to me. Because
Side note, I think is Elton John our Stevie Wonder in that I often hope that he's doing okay health wise.
I think so, yes, because Elton John and Stevie Wonder are both
been
at that
around
age point
for a
where you
long
don't
time.
know. But it's like, honestly,
His life is private.
It's really interesting that they have balls to ask Elton John, who was besties with Diana, and made a whole song, "Candle in the Wind," after she passed. You think you're gonna ask me to perform at my bestie's ex-husband's / philanderer and abuser's coronation? Bitch, are you crazy? I would sing "Candle in the Wind." Yeah. He should do it. Get up there and sing "Candle in the Wind."
Get Elton John to do it.
Because that would be the shadiest moment. I want him to get up there and be like, "I dedicate this to Diana." That's it.
Yes.
And so Camila, a.k.a. the queen side piece, can be like, "I want it. Please, drag them."
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Any other artists who you get, please sing "Candle in the Wind." Mm-hmm. Do it. Just change
even if it's
lists.
a drill artist.
Yes, do it.
Candle in the wind. Candle in the wind. Candle in the wind.
Could you imagine a drill version of "Candle in the Wind"? Come on, do it, please, for us, for your cousins across the pond. Okay, so now to some racist shenanigans.
Oh boy.
During Black History Month.
It couldn't be America if it wasn't racism happening during Black History Month is like blackface happening during Halloween. It just
you know what's gonna happen.
You know it's gonna go down. You know it's gonna be some bullshit with Brock Lesnar kicks Bobby Lashley in the dick during Elimination Chamber. Can't let that black man get a clean win.
Okay, so some parents at Paper Tree Elementary School in the Upland Unified School District in California are outraged because one of the sixth graders, or a few of the sixth graders, black sixth graders, received some very interesting portraits or holiday cards for Black History Month. Now,
I'm looking at these cards.
They look ridiculous.
And when you told me that some elementary school kids were up to this, I was like, oh, this is a shame. Yeah. But now that I'm looking at the cards and that I know they're sixth graders, like, you have the artistry of a preschool kid.
Well, so let's just tell you what.
That is some terrible art.
One of the cards said, "You're my favorite monkey." The other one said, "To my favorite cotton picker." And, just other, obviously, racist things. One of the parents of one of the students, Melena and Rome Douglas, they have 3 kids there, said their daughter had been targeted with these racist things as well, and she said that they were going to give her a drawing that specifically said, "You're my favorite slave," and they were going to show her as a slave hanging from a tree.
Jesus, these kids have no fucking chill. What the fuck?
And then the parents said that a group of girls said that they were going to give their daughter back rubs and massages because it's Black History Month. And they said, "It's your month, you're entitled to back rubs." And apparently someone told her, "Well, maybe only half the month because you're only half black."
Ooh. God damn.
And apparently
this is why I hate kids, because they are so fucking savage.
They are. But
for no fucking reason.
The kids, these are even
super rich kids with nothing but loose ends. Super rich kids with nothing but fake friends.
The thing about it is, these kids are not doing this in a vacuum. I'm sure. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the parents was on some Mean Girl shit and was like, "Oh, you know what would be funny? Because they have Black History Month and we don't have White History Month. This is what you should do." But apparently, this is not the first time the kids at Upland have been racist. Last year, or the school has been racist. Last year, a teacher was placed on leave because they made anti-Asian comments during Lunar New Year celebrations.
Jesus. How hard is... Okay. All honesty. Open dialogue time. How hard is it to be not racist?
It's actually not hard.
It's not that hard at all.
I literally go through my whole day, my whole week, my whole month
without being racist.
I never have a desire to be racist.
The closest I've come to being racist on a daily basis is my choice of porn that I watch. And that's
more of a preference.
That's more of a preference than it is
see
straight racism or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah. So, but that's it. That's all there is. Like, I wake up in the morning and then I go throughout my day and then I go to sleep and I'm like, you know what? I wasn't racist today. Wasn't that just a breeze? Wasn't that super duper easy?
It's literally not hard for anyone to not be racist. It's just that, unfortunately, there are a lot of white people who they feel it in their bones. And I'm not going to say, it's not just white people who will behave racist. There are plenty of other BIPOC who have internalized white supremacy and colonialism and all the other terrible things that slavery and colonization have wrought. Yeah. And will push it out onto other people.
Speaking of which, you know the Nation of Islam had their gathering today in San Diego, I think.
Not, but I'm sure there's a bunch of bow ties.
The San Diego Dome.
A bunch of men with bow ties standing around selling
Farrakhan was speaking, and it popped up on my timeline, which is strange because my algorithm is usually just wrestling and...
It hurt us listening to you, Pete, watching
comedy.
People. And, they mentioned Farrakhan.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Bringing it up for you.
Fair enough. Thanks, algorithm.
But yeah, so that was, look, I hope that the it's not even a PTA issue, this is a whole school issue. Just listen, kick all the white kids out of Upland.
Yes, kick them all out.
Kick them all out. Just leave it to the black and brown and Asian
Just
kids.
spend, you know what, have them shuttle to a different school. You know what, for the month of February, they should be shuttled to an inner city.
Not February, for March, because February is too short a month. Send them to a school that has little to no resources.
Yes.
With no books, barely any teachers, no library or computers.
Yes.
And let them see how
how it is on the other side,
Because if they could see how the black and brown kids are living and the schools they're going to, they don't have free lunch that is actually food, maybe they would have more of appreciation for their classmates. And also force the parents to go to I don't know, a anti-racist trainings. Make them go do homework, and their kid cannot come back into the school. So the whole entire family has gone through trainings.
There should be something. You know how you can get it's not called demerits, but you can get something on your driver's license. What is it called?
Yeah, you could get they could take points off your license.
Points off your license, yeah. They should do that for racism.
We need a points card.
Yeah, we need a points card.
A monthly okay, so you remember that? Did you ever watch Black Mirror?
Yes.
You remember the first episode, I think, of season 2 with what's her name? That was in Jurassic Park. The Bryce Dallas Howard.
Oh yeah, that was Bryce Dallas Howard.
So remember
with
the
her
episode
social media,
where it was social media points, and you get reduced. We need to start giving white people 100 points a month, and every month, if they do something racist, you deduct.
Yeah.
And then that is going to be something that they're going to have to either get a reduced paycheck, get extra fees on their mortgage or rent. They're going to have to pay a penalty. I think white people and men should have that.
For sure, I absolutely agree with that.
And then that way,
and it doesn't re-up every month.
No, it doesn't.
It re-ups every
you start
3 months.
Every
3 months you get one. Every quarter you get 100 points. 100 points.
And if you start going in the negatives, hey,
I guarantee you there will be more people who are trying to find work from home jobs and shit, so that they don't have to interact with anybody.
Because you can do it even if it's online. Even if someone sends you a racist troll message, you can send them a point. Demerit them.
Yeah, if you read that troll thing, then you get a demerit because you read it. You should have ignored it. You should have better friends.
Exactly.
You should have better circles of...
Fix your friend group.
Fix your friend group.
Because I don't get racist things in my friend group.
Not anymore. Although I will say this, I feel like I'm dangerously close to like starting to get fucking manosphere shit. And that's only because of one of our mutual friends who like brought it up when she was here like hanging out with me. I'll tell you more about it off mic, but she was just like, yeah, I've been doing some,
red pill digging
and stuff just so that I can be safe and like, like I know what men are thinking so I can protect myself. And I'm just like, okay.
You don't want to go down that rabbit hole because the thing about manosphere, red pill bullshit is that they're the same as the photeps. They will make like 10% of sense. And so you'll start it off and it'll be sounding really good, but then as you go deeper and deeper in it, you start realizing, oh no, actually, these people are fucking insane.
Yeah, and they have charisma too.
They do. That's
they have such fucking charisma.
Jordan Peterson he's super smart. He's very knowledgeable. He has all these different degrees and things. So when you hear him talking, it doesn't sound like a Trump or your local
or the robotic nature of like Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, like he sounds learned, and so that tricks you. Don't get tricked by the photeps, the red pillars, or any of them. Just steer clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to more racist news during
Black History Month of all months.
So do you remember the comic Dilbert?
Yes, I do. I remember Dilbert, and I used to watch the one season TV show.
I really have always enjoyed Dilbert. I loved the TV show. I in my head, I didn't even realize it was only one season because it came out when we were like middle school.
Yeah, it was on UPN.
I thought it had like multiple because I used to watch it. I thought it was funny. But apparently, the Dilbert creator...
Adam Scott,
he has some things...
Not to be confused with the Adam Scott who's in Party Down and Parks and Rec and shit. There's a different white dude named Adam Scott.
Oh, no, it's Scott Adams.
Scott Adams, yeah, my bad. Sorry, Scott Adams.
So,
not to be confused with Adam Scott.
He was apparently in some sort of manosphere, white supremacy forums. Hello, one Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh my God, that would be so cool.
I would love if Jasmine Sullivan
absolutely Jasmine Sullivan. If this was Jasmine Sullivan,
I'm not scared of lions and tigers and bears, but I'm scared of loving you. Okay. We're not gonna get crazy, but so Scott Adams, he decided to take to his YouTube show Real Coffee with Scott Adams to talk about the 53% of Black Americans who agreed to a statement done by conservative firm Ramison Reports that said it's okay to be white. So I don't know why he had such strong feelings about this, but listen to what he said. On his show, he said, if nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to the poll, that's a hate group. I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away, because there's no fixing this. And I would like to say to Scott, I agree. Please, white people, stay the fuck away from me.
Get out the way now. Get out the way, get the fuck up out my way now. You either with me or against me, how?
Listen, this is the thing. I would say I think about men and white people the same. Of course, all are not terrible. All are not going to try and harm me. But I am always going to have my guard up because some of them are wolves in sheep clothing. And now I definitely have I have a lot of white people in my life,
Yes.
in my family,
Yes.
in my friend groups,
Yes,
like
you do.
in my sphere that I have no problem with. But the fact that I have had very close people, white people in my life, come at me defensively about Black Lives Matter or segregation or affirmative action or any of the things, like, and just general racism in general, I would never lie to someone and say that I don't have a fear of white people.
Yes.
Because just today, when I was going to walk Brooklyn, I saw this white guy in this, like, souped up, black, like, one of those big, like, Ford tough vans, and I was scared. Because I feel like whenever you see white men in those trucks, you never know who you're going to be dealing with. The fact that, and I think I've told you this before a few years ago, I was on the train on Labor Day weekend one year going to work, and this old white man called this random black woman a nigger bitch.
Yes, you've told me this story.
This is in Brooklyn on the Q line. This is not in the middle of fucking Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Right.
So it's like there's no escaping it. They were literally...
Hello there, strong black queen.
You are a strong black queen.
Yes, you are. During Black History Month.
There were literally Nazis.
And all year round.
All year round.
Yes.
There were literally Nazis at the protests in 2020.
Yes, there were.
And it was a very stressful experience for me because I live in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say, like, I'm from Long Island. Long Island is extremely racist. My mom was called a nigger bitch one time when I was, like, 5 or 6, just to damn me feel like that some kids yelled at her up down the street. My high school history teacher told us about how one time he and his friends, when they were in their teens, rolled past this older black man and yelled out, "Nigger!" And the only reason he felt bad was because the old man was like, "Now, why would you do that?"
Yes! It does take some old black wisdom to just be like, "Now, come on now.
Now, why would you do that?
Well,
what was the
point?
wrong with you? And, like,
are you okay?
Those are
Have
the
you
type
eaten
of
today?
things that black people have experienced. We have known others to experience in our orbit. So it's not surprising to me that black people, that 53% of us would say, you know, I'm actually not okay with white people. Because when you're constantly in fear for your life and well-being, you don't have time to have the benefit of the doubt always. Mm-hmm. Even when you've grown up around a lot of white people and you have white people in your family, your friend groups, because you know that those white people are an anomaly. They're unicorns.
Yes.
Because you also know who those white people have in their friend groups and their families and the type of shit that comes out of their mouths.
Right.
So, fuck you, Scott Adams. I hope that Dilbert, I mean, he's already, how many newspapers?
300 newspapers
300
dropped
newspapers.
his fucking
In the time-
boring ass comic strip.
The fact that you have had this comic out since like the early 90s and you're now getting dropped, you're no more residuals for you. Like, all you had to do was shut up. I don't know why that's so difficult. Just shut up. You don't have to say anything. Nobody was asking you a question about
It's
this.
so hard for white people
To just shut up.
to just shut up. I don't understand it. Like, they gotta have their opinions heard and felt and known.
We
they
don't.
just have to.
Just shut up. You would literally make so much more money if you shut up.
Yeah, probably. Or at least not lose money.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You would not lose it.
Yeah.
But, all right. So, moving on to more shenanigans. Harvey Weinstein was sentenced to 16 years for Los Angeles sex crimes.
Yeah.
He was convicted of raping and sexually assaulting a woman in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
He's been, sentenced for many of his other sexual assault crimes. So this is not new, or like it's not like news, because he's going to be in jail for quite some time until he probably dies.
Yeah.
He's already 70 years old and he looks like he's melting.
He looks like a mummy.
Fuck you, Harvey Weinstein. And I hope that every other person who has been involved has a Me Too story that has not come out yet. I'm waiting for the day with bated breath for you to get your just desserts.
Yes.
And I read this article that Paris Hilton, who she had recently talked about how she was drugged and raped at 15. Sorry, content warning. Warning. She's talked about that, but she also in this interview talked about how Harvey Weinstein followed her into a bathroom, tried to open the door, and force his way in. She was only 19 years old. So this happened at the 2000 Cannes Film Festival, and he was hosting that year. She said, I was at lunch with my girlfriend. He came up to the table and was like, "Oh, you want to be an actress?" And I said, "Yeah, I really want to be in a movie." I was a teenager, so I was impressed by him. I was like, "Oh my God, Harvey Weinstein is so cool." And he said, "Well, we should have a meeting. You can come to my room and read scripts." And I just didn't want to go, so I never went. Thankfully, she did not go because you never, I mean, just because she's a Hilton doesn't mean he wouldn't have tried to assault her.
Right.
So that's some good news. Also, in sexual predator news, again, more warnings. R. Kelly was sentenced to 20 years in a child porn case, but total prison time was only extended by 1 year. So, as long as he's staying in prison, I mean, I'm happy.
I'm happy too. I want both of them to stay in jail
forever.
To fuck off. To
we don't need them.
Leave us alone. Like y'all reign of terror
is over.
Lasted for far too long, and now you're getting your comeuppance, and now you get to spend your heyday in jail eating the worst applesauce and eating the shittiest meals and only getting 1 hour of your time a day.
Maybe they're gonna be in one of those prisons with like those TikTok prison chefs who be making like the really delicious looking food. I don't know, but fuck you, Harvey Weinstein. Fuck you, R. Kelly. I hope you rot in jail.
Yeah.
Forever.
Fuck out of here.
All right. So we have more shenanigans before we can get to like some of the good stuff. Remember we talked about Adidas and how they dropped Yee and that he.
Let's call him Kanye.
I'm
not calling him Ye.
Your mama called you Kanye. Named you Kanye. I'm calling you Kanye.
Yes.
He was dropped and like. Adidas was set to lose about $1 billion because of they could have all these clothes and things.
Imagine if I started going by Ice.
I would literally not call you that.
My Maurice.
I would not do it.
Just call me Ice.
I will not.
Yeah, they call me Ice.
No.
Ice, baby.
But so after the termination of their partnership, they were saying that they were going to lose out on almost $1 billion because they couldn't sell any of his extra clothes or shoes or whatever. But apparently, these are according to reports, Adidas and Kanye have signed a new settlement or a new agreement that has carved out a deal for Kanye to sell 500 million of the remaining Yeezy sneakers. And honestly, I just want to say fuck you to Adidas for this. Like, I think that the thing about when you're taking a stand, you may inadvertently hurt yourself for the short term. But again, nobody told y'all dumbasses to get in line with him anyway, because he was already being terrible.
Yeah.
So the fact that now you're trying to, like, recoup. Like, you could recoup it in other ways. Beyonce has Ivy Park. You have a million Adidas things. The 50 year of hip hop just came up. Get Run DMC to play that. Who did the song?
Tricky.
All Day I Think.
That's Big Boy.
Get Big Boy and Run DMC and
Killer Mike.
No,
because he's on that song too.
The singer from. The one that they did like it was Run DMC and they did the song for Armageddon. I don't want to close my eyes.
Wait, you mean Aerosmith?
Aerosmith. Get Aerosmith. Get Big Boy.
Run DMC and Aerosmith. Yes, because they walked this way. Yeah.
Get them to collaborate on some bullshit, pay them some money, and recoup your losses. I'm so sick of these people feigning being quote unquote woke and with everybody and all this stuff. And in reality, you're just going to go right back to them the moment you feel like you're losing a bit of money. It's so shady and annoying, and I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. If Beyonce did not have your fucking clothing line, then you would get no support.
And if y'all didn't make my favorite sneakers, the top 10 highs, then I would seriously switch back to Nike.
You better send us some merch.
As a side note, Nike, I have looked into switching over to Nike and just getting a bunch of Air Forces, but like...
I mean, the Air Maxes are my jam.
They're so fucking expensive.
The Air Maxes are my jam.
At least I could, like, there's like a range of like top 10 highs, like based on, like, if they're limited edition, they might be more expensive, but like... Grant, like, even the lowest might be like $50, $70. You know what I mean? Just like the basic bitch, like white on blacks, black on whites. You know what I mean? Like sometimes with a funky. What you mean?
You don't want any black Air Forces.
Black Air Forces are like $120,
which is surprising because everyone's always.
And those are the low
and
low
everyone
cut,
always laughs at them
cuts.
And is saying how like those are the ones you use when you can't trust.
Hey there, Mom. Hi, Ode's mom. Hope you're doing well. Oh,
but
you're already gone.
She'll come back. She probably just accidentally switched out. So fuck you, Adidas. You're on some bullshit.
Yeah, and
we don't like you. Okay, moving on. So this is someone I know that you know.
Yes,
but
I do.
Jeff Hardy, a wrestler on AEW, he has run into some troubles recently with some DUIs.
He's got demons.
He has DUIs. He had a DUI case from June 2020, but he has come out on top. It was closed. After he submitted a written plea of nolo contendery. I don't know. Contendery? I don't know how to say it, but he submitted something.
Contender,
to all charges.
I think, maybe.
And
nolo contender.
The only thing that happens for him now is his license will be suspended for the next decade, and he will get 38 days credit for time served in county jail as part of his sentence. Now, as somebody who does not drive, this obviously, I'm like, well, no big deal. You can just take like Ubers or get other people to drive.
He has a brother that can drive him to like the next like gigs and shit.
But the thing is, I feel like when you got money,
or he's
it
famous.
Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, like he
amount of
has
Ubers
money.
You can take.
He can afford
get
Ubers.
a driver. Like you don't have to work. Like this is honestly not.
Or you can just go on Twitter and just ask these fucking wrestling fans, like, "Hey, I'm in South Carolina.
Who can pick me up?
If anybody can pick me up." You know, anybody can pick me up, I'll make it worth your while.
But there might be some swim fan type folks, so you don't want to do that too much.
I mean, that's what you get for fucking getting DUIs all the time.
The thing is, I don't understand.
That's the trade-off. The trade-off is that, like, you can't drive your fucking self anywhere, and now you have to get swim fans to fucking drive you around, or your brother, or lean on somebody else. Or you're already being a I hear myself when I'm saying this. You're already being a burden for not being able to drive. Okay?
I mean, hey.
The fact that you can't do for yourself and you have to depend on your family and friends and everybody to drive your ass everywhere, like, it's already fucking, you're a grown person. You're grown.
Anyone over the age of 30 should not be getting any DUIs because you have money for an Uber.
Yeah, it's not that hard
and
to...
if you don't have money for an Uber, you should have the common sense that God gave you to not drive while you're intoxicated or high or any of those things. Like, plenty of my friends who drive, if we're going out, we know we're going to be drinking, they're just like, you know what, I'm going to just take Uber. We're not even going to take the car out. We're just going to call Uber to go there because I don't even want to have to confuse myself or lie to myself that I'm going to be straight enough to drive. And I just feel like it's good because at the end of the day, even though drinking and driving, I saw this video from like the 80s where they were finally like pushing like it was illegal to drink and drive, and all these rednecks were like, you can't take my beer. I understand that this is like a new concept for some people, but at the end of the day, we have lived all of our lives where drinking and driving was illegal.
Yes.
You don't need to do it. you could find somebody else. There's so many ways. It's not like when I was growing up and we didn't have a car and you had to get a taxi, you had to call up something. Like, you don't have to do all those things. Use your fucking phone. You have money. So, I mean, Jeff Hardy, good on you for not going to jail.
Yeah.
But also, fuck you for driving intoxicated. Do better with your life.
Do better. Do better.
All right. So, let's get into some entertainment things. Have you been seeing this Ebony cover with Jonathan Majors?
I have, and I will say he looks like Doflamingo from One Piece.
Well, the person, I forget the name. I think this is his name, Alexander Julian. The person who dressed him for the shoot, his name is Alexander Julian. He's a celebrity.
Take a look.
Yeah, he does. He does look like him. And that was who he said, Don Quixote, Don Flamingo. He said that was the inspiration.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know why people are talking about it's an agenda to emasculate black men. First of all, one thing that I hate about this whole emasculization conversation is that there's nothing that you or anyone else in this world could do to make me feel like I am not the woman that I am. And if you are so insecure that somebody wearing pink with their whole chest out and maybe their legs crossed can somehow cause you to feel emasculated, that is a personal
Yeah, that says more about you than it does about him or the media or anybody's agenda or anything like that. Like, I've always thought for the longest time, like, this idea, this idea that in the black community, like, you have to, like, wear a dress and, like, feminize yourself and be less than in order to make it in Hollywood. I've always thought that was, like, I thought that was, like, kind of a ridiculous sort of notion because you have your fucking Denzel Washingtons who've never done that, and they're just as
kings of Hollywood.
They're kings of Hollywood too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't look down on Eddie Murphy or Martin Lawrence for having Big Mama and the Nutty Professor, like Norbert or anything like that. I mean, I do look down on Eddie Murphy for Norbert. That was a terrible movie. That was.
But it's the thing is that, like,
terrible.
I understand that black people are very, we are very, what is the word?
Protective,
yes, of our black people, black men, black women, and because of the fact that for so long we have had times when we were chastised, we were degraded, and our femininity or our manhood was stripped away from us. But I feel like the people who keep talking about this are all the photeps who are just trying to make nothing out of something because all this agenda is just a very homophobic, transphobic, and anti-women. Because why is it that if a man wears a dress or looks feminine a little bit,
hey, man,
why does that all of a sudden make him like a bad person or terrible? Like, okay, first of all, if you look at our clothing options in the diaspora, a lot of the countries we are from wear dresses or skirts or whatever. Like, it may not look the same, but they are there. So it's like these conversations about being feminine and all that, like, they're dumb, they're idiots, and I hate them. Because it's very frustrating. And it's pointless. And I just want these people to go outside, touch grass, find something better to do than to talk about this bullshit. But you should go online and read Savannah Taylor's op-ed on Ebony. She wrote about the Ebony cover and the backlash around it. And I thought it was very good. All right. Some more cool things. Yes, I know. We're going to go fast. One.
Okay.
Angela Bassett did the thing. If you know where that's from, please chime in. And Ariana DeBose from the West Side Story has been getting dragged.
Dubois, maybe?
Dubois, I think it's Dubois. She's been getting dragged because she did this like melody or compilation at the BAFTAs, and it was not received well by both.
It was terrible.
The audience.
It was just ridiculous. She was out of breath. She was winded.
Yeah.
So it made me wonder if she had practiced at all.
I think she practiced. I just think it was not for her. It was like, I don't know.
She doesn't have the lung capacity for shit like that.
It just was not good. It wasn't well written. It wasn't that fun. She didn't sound vocally amazing. And she's a good actress. She won an Oscar or Grammy or a Tony or whatever for West Side Story as playing Anita. I just want better for her, but also thank you, Black Twitter, for all the hilarious memes and video remixes.
Absolutely.
Because it's been perfect. But also, Angela Bassett did give her a little shout out because when she won the NAACP award this week, she was like, Angela Bassett did the thing. And allegedly, she also called her and was like, thank you, and was very gracious. And she was like, of course, had to be an auntie and be like, I didn't find any problem with it. So that was very funny. Please look into that. Also, our queen has secured another bag. She's going to perform Lift Me Up at the Oscars. So look out for that performance. I'm very much looking forward to it because I love Rihanna.
I'm sure it'll be a really good performance. I probably will be watching it on my phone because I'll be watching something else. Every year I always watch the On Cinema Oscar special. Instead.
Oh, I like the On Cinema Oscar special.
Yeah. Just this ridiculous like alt comedy. Fucking these two dudes, Greg Turkington and Tim Heidecker.
Oh yeah, Greg and Tim.
Yeah, Greg and Tim. That's what I was laughing at when we went to see Quantum Mania because Greg Turkington, that was that dude who was like reviewing the movie before the movie started and stuff because he was the Baskin Robin guy in there. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of lore in there. But yes, shout out to Rihanna, my queen. For securing another bag.
We love you. And the last thing before we get out. Angela Davis, a former Black Panther activist, writer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. She was on Finding Your Roots with Henry Gates. And I would like you. I would like to watch this episode because I feel like I need to see the full thing because the clips I've been seeing have been rubbing me the wrong way.
What do you mean?
Basically, Henry Louis Gates finds out that she is descended from people from the Mayflower, and
not surprising.
Well, it's not. Majority of Black people in the Americas have rapey ass ancestors.
Yeah.
Who we are like, I'm still trying to get into the White McKissick and Lyles family reunion. They still don't want to let me be in there. I'm showing up. I'm showing up at the next one. But like many of us have connections to past that is not great. And now this came out. Twitter was both dragging Henry Louis Gates and the whole situation because some people felt like she wasn't upset enough. Some people felt like, she's not really that Black and all this other bullshit. And then in my opinion, I felt like Henry Louis Gates was not, sympathetic enough and did not give her this information in a sympathetic way. He basically was just like, we have some cool information for you. Your family, so-and-so, dates back to the Mayflower. She was admittedly like aghast and was like, I can't wrap my head around this and all that. But I felt like he should have maybe prepared her to learn that this information was coming out in a way that was softer. Mm-hmm. And like, I know your history as an activist. This might be very surprising to you. So I just want you to hold on. Here's what it is. Yeah. And not acting as
he
if
probably
it was,
just didn't do his due diligence on the person that he was interviewing.
What the fuck? How could the fuck you not? He wrote From Slavery to Freedom, and this is why Henry Gates Dr. Carr was always eating your ass up in class. Because Dr. Carr fucking hates the title of that book.
Yeah.
And he let us know every class.
Yeah, Dr. Carr was a real one.
From slavery to freedom. Because we are not from slavery to freedom. We are from kingdoms
to slavery.
To slavery to freedom.
To freedom, yeah.
But we have a whole history that predates any of the colonizers' slave ships ever even dropping down.
Sorry,
in our
I
space.
just read that from Anthony.
But I feel like it was a very, I think that it's an episode that I do want to watch because I want to get more understanding, more clarity, more perspective.
Sure, absolutely.
But I did feel like the clip that I saw of him introducing this to her, I just felt like he could have just been more, what's the word?
Sympathetic.
Sympathy, more empathy, more like...
Empathetic.
But you know what? I did come back from that clip thinking, like, she's really giving her white ancestors hell. Like, I know the people on the Mayflower are turning in their graves, knowing all the shit that she has riled up, and I really want her to join DAR, Daughters of the Revolution, so that she can go to a committee meeting. I know that it doesn't spell it, but that's what it is. The Daughters of the Revolution, they have that group. It's DAR.
Wouldn't it be...
It would be DOR, but I think DAR probably makes more sense for them. Daughters of the American Revolution, sorry. Please
there we go.
Join.
Okay, DAR. That makes more sense.
You can troll the fuck out of them. Because you already know they're super racist. We already know that.
Yes.
I want you to go, troll them, and then, come back. Report back to us.
Yes.
And honestly, I would like all of us to do that. Find your history. Find your roots. Find the white peoples in your family. Go to their family reunions. Join the meetups and the listservs. And just show up with a Black Lives Matter shirt. And just be like, yeah, your great-grandfather raped my great-grandfather's mom.
Yeah, make it like an episode of Atlanta.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is your blueprint.
Really make some uncomfortable...
That's what I feel like we
conversations.
Should do. Make white people uncomfortable.
Feel uncomfortable.
All 2K23.
Because Lord knows I've had to feel uncomfortable for so long.
Why not?
That's why I don't code switch at work no more. If anything, I dial it up more when I'm in my one-on-ones. Because I'm just like, I'm cool.
I'm black, y'all.
I'm black, y'all. And I'm blackity black, y'all.
All right. Stay tuned. We will be literally right back. But Instagram's about to kick us off. And we have to do our mental health segment. Find out what's bothering us this week. And also what's making us happy. So, BRB, stay tuned. Keep your phone clicked to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
Yay. See you, Matt.
You're listening to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
We now return to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
Here we go. In the thundering rain, you stare in my eyes. I can feel your hands moving up my thighs, skirt around my waist, wall against my face. I can feel your lips.
Oh.
I don't want to stop just because people walking by watching us. I don't give a damn what they think. I want you now. I don't want to stop just because you feel so good inside my love. I'm not gonna stop, no, no, no. I want you. All I want to say is anytime, any place, I don't care who's around. All right. That was Janet Jackson.
Anytime, any place.
Anytime, any place.
And fuck you to CBS for canceling her halftime shindigs that you were going to do. Or
I don't remember this.
There was a few weeks ago it came out, well, after the halftime show or, Super Bowl, came out that CBS was supposed to do something with her. but it got scrapped because it could not. They couldn't come.
Speak of the devil, hey, what's up, Nas?
They couldn't come to an agreement or understanding about what happened. They never apologized about blackballing her after the freaking Super Bowl nipple shenanigans. And so, fuck y'all. Because if there was not for Janet Jackson...
It was just a titty. Like
it was just a nipple.
Like...
How many nipples have people seen in their whole lives?
First off, it was... I will say this. As a child, as a kid, as a... What? We were...
Like 12?
We were 12, yeah. Kind of about to say, I wasn't a teenager. I was still, like... We had the one TV VCR that was up on, like, the... Okay, because the way that my... The way that my kitchen was set up, we had like a wall, like the table against the wall, where basically me, my sister, and my mom would like eat dinner. Mm-hmm. And then we had a TV up high on like the cupboard, essentially, and it was a small ass TV. So if I wanted to, and me being addicted to TV as I am, like I want to get up real close to it. So I had to like stand on a chair in order to like get my face up to the TV screen. And that's how I watched that Super Bowl. And as somebody who had never known that titties could be pierced with like piercings.
Well, it wasn't pierced. It was a decoration, but it wasn't pierced.
I thought it was
like a little
pierced.
pasty.
I thought it was pierced.
No, it was like I don't know what she was planning on doing.
I'm gonna look up Janet Jackson nipple. I don't know what she planned on doing after the Super Bowl.
That she had little decorations on her. But at the end of the day, I remember watching it and being like, "Oh, is that her nipple? Oh, okay." Because first of all, everybody has nipples, men and women, and thems. Everybody nipples. We literally sucked on nipples for the first 2 years,
I'm trying to find
3 years of our lives.
Where the fuck is this thing?
It should not be such a drastic, terrible thing if somebody's nipple is showing at all.
It's just a nipple.
It's literally
just a nipple.
Free the
That's
fucking
all
nipple.
Free that nip.
It's just ridiculous. But we love you, Janet Jackson.
Nipple
You're an
hustle.
icon. And we are ready to jump into...
The marathon never ends.
We are ready to jump into our...
That might be the title.
Questions. Well, it's a question. It's a one. It's a singular.
No, this is the mental health section.
Yeah, but we have a mental health section every week.
Yes.
We talk about our mental health. We check in with one another.
Yes.
Because we're mental health advocates.
Not experts.
And so we ask questions to think about our mental health in a more a larger way.
Yes.
Hello, Q Love.
Hey, what up?
Nice to see you.
What's up,
Glad
Q?
you're here.
What's up?
Okay, so is your glass half empty or half full?
I feel like we've had this one before.
Listen, I don't know. We just might have done this one in just a general one of our game nights. I don't know if we've done this one on here, but this is a good question to ask.
I want to say that my glass is half full, but it's probably half empty.
It's 100% half empty.
Yeah, like I'm sorry.
I wish it was half full. I think it should be, but it's definitely half empty.
As I've gotten older and as life has just continued to be life, I have become a little bit cynical.
You're a bit of a curmudgeon.
I'm a grump.
You are an ornery person.
You keep saying I'm ornery, and I don't know if I'm ornery. I know that I am grumpy, but
ornery
I don't know if
is
I'm
a synonym
ornery.
to grumpy.
Ornery.
Let's look up the definition of ornery.
God.
Because we have computers.
Yes, we do have
Ornery. Bad-tempered and combative.
I'm not that combative. I'm not that combative.
I
don't think that I'm combative.
Do not lie here on this here podcast.
I don't think look.
We tell the truth at Black and Nerdy.
I think my temperament is less than positive, but I don't know if I would call it
you
bad.
You are 100%
and I'm not combative. I don't know if I'm combative. How am I combative?
You are combative.
When am I combative?
Every day.
How every day? First off, that's so much energy to have to exude every day.
You do it.
And I'm mostly fucking tired.
You combative combat me.
I roll my eyes and I just roll with the flow. Like,
no,
okay,
you do not. You
sure,
are
I guess I'll go with
combative.
this.
100%.
Sure.
Your Aries energy comes out in every interaction.
No, we're not lying on Janet Jackson's internet. I don't.
He is 100% lying on Janet Jackson's internet.
I'm just not that.
You are
combative.
100% combative. You are an Aries, true
will
and true.
Give you
your ram horns come out.
Everybody
at every moment.
Everybody is entitled to their opinion.
Oh, you are a liar.
And I am
Sorry,
certain
folks,
that
we're having
you
a
feel
lying
a certain way.
of the Black and Sturdy episode.
I'm sure that you feel a certain way, and
because
I will allow this to happen because I'm a
liar.
good friend. I'm a good friend who supports.
No, don't. Yes, there's so many Aries on the episode right now. We do not need him to be co-signed for his ridiculous shenanigans. Okay,
I'm just saying that I feel like my temperament is
100% a combative.
It could be done better. It could be better, but it is what it is. And yes, I am an Aries.
Yes,
April 19th up in this
ornery
mug.
You are 100% an ornery.
Yeah, we go. Matt knows what the deal is.
Yes, Matt's an Aries. My mom's an Aries.
Yeah,
it's
every
a lot
Aries
of
up in the gang.
Energy.
Aries gang. Aries gang.
If Nas is still here, Gemini gang.
No,
gang,
Nas is. I'm sure Nas is.
No, there's still 4 people.
Chilling.
So she's still here. Gang. Anyway.
Yeah, I think Nas is actually still
are
here.
You are 100. Mom, you're a cusp, but you're 100% an Aries. You're 100%.
Wait, cusp as in like
cusp is like
March?
Because if you're
okay, all right.
when you're
I still consider that Aries.
When you're born on the day that the signs can change, there are some astrologists that think of you're on the cusp. But what you don't know is if you are, depending on the time of your birth, really will depend on if you're a cusp. Because the sun could have already changed, even though it's the actual day. But anyway, you're combative, you're ornery, you're angry all the time. And that's all right. I accept you for you. You know?
It's, to me, if you're an Aries, you're an Aries all the way. When you're an Aries, you're an Aries all the way. From the birth that you were born and the day you die.
All right. So, we have answered our question.
Uh-huh.
What?
Did you answer the question?
Oh, did I? First of all, you already know the answer to the question. My glass is always half
full because
full.
all of the
more
world
than half
is just filled with joy where you look at it, because that's what they taught me in those books that I read.
Do you see how you're combative? Do you see how you make me angry?
I make you combative. You're ornery. Not me.
No, you are 100%.
That is a perfect example of you being ornery.
You are
not me.
100%
I am
ornery.
not an ornery person.
Anyway,
turns
way,
out Ode is the ornery person.
I am a glass.
There she goes. Look at this.
Not even half full.
Look at this person.
I am a glass.
When
3/4 of the way full, because I am always looking for the joy, the redemption, the love, all the good things that come out of life. Because you know what? I know that good things always are going to come to me.
Sure.
And I'm always going to ask for them. Okay? And I'm always going to be a positive light in your life.
Just because you wear a yellow shirt doesn't mean that you're light.
I am.
That doesn't mean that at all. All right.
Okay, I'm a super light and loving person.
No.
I'm full of joy.
Look at this.
I'm full of joy and optimism.
She, turns out, is actually the secret curmudgeon. This is
not.
like the game Werewolf, where she's giving you a whole diatribe about how she's not the werewolf when she is the werewolf.
I love
she is.
my life. I love people.
Look at how high her voice has gotten. This is not her normal fucking voice. And every day she's just like she speaks as if there's like gravel in her throat. But right now she's speaking like with her like high fluent like I'm gonna talk to my coworkers in a meeting voice.
Whatever.
Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Let's play Uno. Here's the black fact.
Anyway, I can't help that I am a joyous person who gets the joy out of life. Even in the darkest of moments, I can still find the light. Okay?
If you say so.
That's how I am.
If you say so.
Because that's the truth. That is the truth. And whether you can see it, it's the truth. Okay, and I don't have to pull up examples.
Look, live your truth.
I'm not gonna pull up examples.
Live your truth, even if your truth is.
I'm not gonna embarrass you here.
Wildly
okay?
misleading.
Because I have examples
your
of
truth
how
is
my joy and my light shines bright like a diamond.
Your truth is kind of questionable. I will say.
And I can't help that you're a curmudgeon. You're an ornery person, but that's okay because you know why? I accept you for who you are.
You're the ornery person.
I am not.
I am just a mirror that reflects everybody's stuff against them.
Not true.
That is who I am. That's who I always have been. And that's just what it is.
You are lying.
That's not
You are lying.
That's just what it is.
That's
just what it is. That's just who I am as a person.
And you can tell
we have a whole podcast that we have to do. Can we move things along?
Inflections in your voice.
Can we move things? My voice has remained deep this entire time. And that's how you know that I'm telling the truth.
You're not.
That's how you know that I'm telling the truth, because I have been deep voice, deep throat, as if I've been chewing on fucking black and milds.
Some black and royal. What is it called? Black and
mild royale.
Black and mild royales. Yes.
Oh God, I missed them.
Anyway,
I miss them so much.
How has your mental health been this week?
So it's this week has been a relatively challenging week, I will say, mostly because of work. Without getting into too many details, I have been burdened with more work than necessary. Some stuff that I thought was finished had to be reopened and reinvestigated, and I'm saying is that if something is done, just let it be done. Don't second guess yourself. Believe in yourself. That's all you have to do is just believe in yourself, and believe in yourself in that you're not even supposed to be a part of this process in the first place.
As long as you keep your head to the sky.
That's the blower. That I can't get into it, but I'm just like, boy, oh boy, this is not supposed to be happening at all, and yet you are a driving force to this.
Okay, so how outside of work, how has your mental health been?
My mental health has been relatively good. So I got to get better at taking my medication on a daily basis.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you gonna get ornery with me right there?
No, I was not.
Because I always remind you.
I
ask you.
But you remind me late in the day.
No, I'm like,
should be
hey,
reminding me
did you
in the
take your
morning.
medicine today? 1 p.m. Did you take your afternoon meds today? And you're like, yeah, I totally did. I did.
Oh.
And then I'm like, oh, there's so many pills left in this bottle. Are you sure? That's what the conversation has been.
I have a doctor's appointment on Wednesday. I'm sure I will be fine.
Okay. Hey. Listen, your meds, not mine. Shit, I should start taking them for my own self.
You probably should.
Yeah, because they're the same medicine. That's what my doctor
it is the same medicine, and
I'm gonna start taking them.
You should probably, yeah.
Because I have more focus and all these things. I would love it.
That would, oh my God, that would be a dream, wouldn't it? Odie with more focus. That would be the dream, right? Do you know how proficient this podcast would be? No diatribes, no side fucking conversations. Just focus. Just bam. This is what it is. Bam. These are some racist drawings. Bam. This is Gilbert. Bam. This is Kanye and Adidas.
But that
Bam.
would not
This was
be
Jeff
fun.
Hardy. Bam.
Okay.
Ebony magazine.
Where
Go
would
Flamingo.
the zest be if we always stayed on topic? You'd be bored with me.
I'm not responding to that.
I know you want to say
I'm not.
something
I'm not.
so snarky and rude.
I
but
had a passing thought
I'm glad
that would have been funny,
that you decided
and I
better.
decided that the joke would have landed, but I will keep that joke to myself, and that will be a joke for me and only me.
Okay.
Anyhow, how has your mental health week been?
I would say, outside of my general...
Your mom's not here anymore.
Outside of my...
And also, Nas, what do you mean by yes?
She
Like,
was talking about your work stuff. See you being ornery already? You being combative already?
was she talking about the work
Yeah,
stuff?
she
Nas,
was.
what did you mean by yes?
She was
Please write in again. I don't think it was about the work stuff.
was.
I
It was
maybe it
100%.
was about the Gemini stuff.
No, that was ages before.
We don't know.
She didn't put a little Gemini
I
icon.
don't know. I don't know.
All right. Anyway,
When it's done, it's done.
she was talking about their work stuff. So
Thank you. All right. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that, Nas.
Thank you for making sure that I was right. All right. So, okay, this week I will say that my mental health has been okay. I think I'm going to say okay. Hasn't been bad. It hasn't been great, but it has been okay. Therapy was great. Of course, per usual, my therapist dragged me in therapy. Because we were just talking about like my reticence to like speak up and say things and like tell people how I feel, etc. And we were just talking about how fear has been a big part of my relationships, and these are all relationships, not just like any romantic or friends or family, whatever. Fear has been a part of all my relationships, and that she said that like she said I've been choosing fear instead of my relationships, which I was like, okay, bitch, drag me. But also she was correct, because when I'm like, if I want to say something to someone, even if it's like something super small, and just like to say like, hey, I didn't like that you do that, or can we do this other thing, or whatever the case may be. Oh, hi, Laurel. That's my cousin's best friend.
Oh, hello there, Laurel.
That I will choose the fear in my head and the like, because it's like, if I want to tell you something, I will have a lot of fear around, like, oh, you're gonna have a negative response, we're gonna get into an argument, it's gonna be a fight, etc., etc. And so instead of me saying that thing, I will say something else that's probably not what I actually wanted to say, or I won't say anything at all, just to like keep the peace. And then internally, I will be having all these different feelings and angst and anger, etc., etc. And so when she said that, I was like, damn, that's something that I have to work on. Because not to say, it's not that I didn't know that my overthinking impacts the relationships in my life, but it was that like, I never thought of it as like I was choosing the fear over the people that I desire like real connection with. So I thank you, Lords, for constantly dragging me and pushing me to be better. So yeah, I feel like my mental health has been like, it's constantly a what are those things called? What are those things you
Teeter-totter?
Teeter-totter. It's a constant teeter-totter, because it's like there's so many things that I'm dealing with every day.
Or a pendulum.
Yes, or a pendulum swinging back and forth. But I'm very grateful to have my therapist. Oh, did I tell you that the therapist that I was seeing for ADHD, she's no longer at the she's leaving the practice.
Oh, okay.
So I won't be seeing her anymore.
Oh, well.
I haven't seen her for quite some time because remember the issue with my HSA card?
Yes.
So I was just like waiting, but now I won't be able to see her anymore because she's gone. But you know what? I appreciate you, Asiya. You also were very great, and I would love to be friends with you outside of therapy.
Of course you would love to be
First
friends
of
with them
all,
outside
no,
of
this is the
fucking
thing.
therapy.
She and I had such great
You would
connection.
love to be friends with your dentist, like, and every other person that you interact
That's
with
not
outside.
true.
That is absolutely
that is not
true.
true.
Like, this is you're the reason why kids in the 80s were trapped in refrigerators. Because you somehow you learned that like everybody should be friends.
No, I just
everybody should be my friend.
I'm not trying to make everybody my friend. I just feel like
just most people, just
like
90%
if we
of
have
people.
a good friend connection,
Just
why would I stop us from being friends?
Percent of people.
I can't help that people like me. I can't help that.
There's nothing. Look, let me make this clear. There's nothing wrong with being friendly with your therapist.
I can't help that people like me.
However, you also gotta understand that it might not be like okay, like there might be a bit of a. It might be hard to translate that friendship from professionalism into actual social.
Yes, that's true. But I would say that me and
because they know so much about you, and it's also extremely one-sided. Like, maybe they might give you a tidbit here or there, but like by and large, therapists aren't supposed to be like, well, this is what's going on in my life.
Okay, so I will say,
you know, they might give you something to relate to, but like they won't. It's not a true
like.
You know, give and take situation. It's
she
you
did
come
not,
to me to tell me all this shit,
she wouldn't
and I'm
tell
gonna
me
help you.
necessarily stuff like about her life, but she would, like, if I was sharing something, she would share as well and be like, yeah, you know, I'm a older sister, so I've dealt with that. This is what I've done, or I have had this issue happen. So I feel like we can be friends, and I am open to that. I don't know what requirements are for therapists, but I would be her friend because we're about the same age compared to my other therapist, Lord, who's like more of an auntie.
I don't think ethically that's good. I don't think ethically that
First of all,
stands.
we would both be giving each other advice, and if we were,
How are you giving her advice?
If we
for
were
anything?
actually friends, I would give her advice because my friends come to me.
I don't
for
know
advice.
if I feel comfortable giving my therapist some advice.
Why? They're people too.
Like I'm paying you to give me
No, but I'm
advice,
talking
and
about
now I'm
in
giving
a-
you advice for
No,
free.
in a friend
If you don't
space.
fuck off.
In a friend space, you
In
should
a
be able to
friend-
give them
in
advice.
a friend space.
Yes. You should be able to. But either way,
That was my
I
don't
mental
know
health
about
journey
that.
this
That's a
week.
slippery slope right there. That slope is slippery. Okay. All right.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we're done with our mental health section.
Yes.
Are you ready to go into grinding?
Yeah. It's gripes.
Gripes, grinding, whatever. Are
Yes.
you ready to go into?
Yes,
it?
I am ready.
You're being combative, like I said.
Bringing it. What?
I'm just correcting you
Right here. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe here. This safe space for us to share. We gripe here. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe here.
Just being corrective doesn't mean that I'm being combative. Like, because I correct you does not mean that I'm being combative with you. I'm just making sure that you're on the right and narrow path of being right instead of just being loud and wrong. That's all. That's all it is. Ornery.
I do feel like though we should probably like change the lyrics to that because we do not only gripe here. We gripe to each other quite often.
Well, but this is the safe space for us to share.
This is a safe space. Yeah.
Whereas,
okay.
like, you'll jump down my back if I give you a little bit of like agita during the pop culture segment, but right here, this is the safe space for us to share. We gripe here. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe here.
You are not only ornery and combative, but
Mm-hmm.
you're also a liar.
I think that's for you to say and for no one else to believe.
Yeah, they do. They believe it.
Absolutely not.
All right, what's
Matt
been...
Nas, do you believe this?
You
Write
do.
in.
I know
Let
you
us
do.
know.
Tell me what has been pissing you off this week.
Like I said earlier, like I alluded to earlier, when a project is done, it's done. I am, without giving too many details, I've been roped into, okay. My place of employment, whose name I will not say.
Okay.
I probably said it on past.
You have.
Yeah, I have said
you.
it a bunch of times, all over the place,
and
or
I
whatever
was like
that.
why are you saying it? It seems unbalanced. It does.
It does seem
unbalanced, as in him being angry.
No, or her.
Him being
her
angry?
being
Yes.
ornery. I
Him
probably
being
her.
angry.
I don't know.
Him being angry. Yes, it does. It
Anyhow,
is always unbalanced.
my place of employment, I hope, let's just say for this coming week, I hope that they do the right thing.
Yes.
I'm just going to keep it that way and not elaborate. I hope that they do the right thing by the rest of the of my department.
Yeah. Don't say any specifics.
Because I have a sneaky suspicion based on how the last few months have been that ain't nobody getting raises.
We're not gonna listen. This is the glass half empty. Be glass half full. Everyone who deserves one will get one.
Normally, I would have gotten an email alert with an meeting update, like a meeting, like, hey, we're putting this meeting on the books. I have not gotten that.
It's still early.
At all.
It's still early.
There's 2 days before I give these motherfuckers out.
It's too early.
There's 2 days.
Maybe you're going to be the last one to get your update because you're the manager.
Okay, wow.
I'm still fingers crossed for you. I'm adding it to my...
And people are asking. They're like, even they've been asking, like, hey, like,
What's going on? Yeah.
what's going on?
It makes sense.
And I've had to be like, I honestly don't know. Like, normally there's something that comes up, but like,
it's frustrating when you don't have the information.
This is a weird year. Like, the last few years have been fucking awesome, and I've been happy with all of what has happened the last few years. But like this last 6 months, this last few months have been a telling and trying exercise in corporate understanding and shenanigans.
Yeah.
So
No, I understand.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, so like that's been stressing me out and pissing me off. Just like my hope that my company will do the right thing by my people.
Yeah.
Because
you're a great manager.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. And
you're always looking out for your team.
I'm always
go to bat for them.
Can I tell you something? There's a part of me that's like, I'm gonna just be real. If they don't get raises and I get a raise, there's a part of me that might be like, hey, can I sacrifice my raise?
You're 100% never going to do that.
But like,
you're 100% never going to do that.
Would I?
No.
Would I at least ask?
No.
Would I at least be the person to
because
say,
first
hey,
of all, you're a black
why is it in my
man.
brain though? Why is it in my brain?
You're a black
Why did I
man
think of that
in
though?
corporate
If I'm not
America,
gonna at least like
you're
say,
not
hey.
about to sacrifice your comeuppance. You will go to bat for those people still, but you're not going to sacrifice it because at the end of the day, you're not going to be penalized because everyone else is. You can think about it. It's great that you are. That's a glass half full.
Look at me having a glass half full mentality,
but you're not going to do that because
okay.
at the end of the day, you still make way less than all of your white
I make
counterparts.
significantly less.
So, fuck all that.
Significantly less.
But okay.
And somehow I'm going to do some digging to figure out if making the same much as.
Don't say.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
I'll bleep that out.
You can't bleep it out alive.
I can't bleep that out on live, but maybe on the actual podcast.
Can you? Is that all that's making you angry?
That is all that's making me angry. Hold on.
Okay.
139 bleep.
Yes, please.
Out. Name.
Thank you very much. Okay.
What's making you angry?
What's making me angry? So, I would say well, these are a few things. I'm gonna do few little short things, and then like a bigger thing. I'm angry at myself for volunteering for things at work because it puts more. These are things that I want to do, but I'm annoyed at myself because now it gives me more work to do outside of my actual work. Yeah. But I will say that the things that I'm doing, I actually, I feel really good about. I'm just like, damn, I have more fucking work to do. And I'm annoyed at one of our tools because it's not working and it's pissing me off because I'm trying to publish something and it's not working. And that's really upsetting me. But the main thing that I'm upset about is if you all are near a computer or you can search something on your phone or whatever, I want you to look up migrant children, child labor laws, because I read this article on the New York Times this week about how migrant children are basically being funneled into a lot of factory jobs and just jobs across the United States where they are doing hazardous work and just work in general that they shouldn't be doing because they should be in class. And when I read it, the article I read was on the New York Times, and the title was "Alone and Exploited, Migrant Children Work Brutal Jobs Across the United States," or across the U.S. So you can look up that if you want. If you don't have the New York Times to like get a subscription, if you just search it, you'll find like other free places. But it was really upsetting me and making me really sad because no child should have to work for their livelihood or their family's livelihood. And it's like, of course, like when I was a teenager, I had been working. I had my first job when I was like in 5th grade, but like my first real job when I was like 16. So it's like having a job as a teenager is not unusual, but there's always it's like specifications. You can't work a certain amount of hours. You can't work past a certain hour. It's like very clear that children are supposed to be home at school, not carrying the weight of the family's financial burden. But with these migrant children, there's been so many, I think about 80,000 or 85,000 children who came across the borders have gone unaccounted for by the government department that's supposed to be looking into them. I want to say it's HCS, but I have to check again. But I was just reading this article, and they were just talking about how a lot of the brands that we use the factories are filled with children who are under 18, working crazy hours in dangerous work, and it just made me sad. And one of the companies that they talked about a lot was Hearthside Food Solutions, and they make food. They are one of the plants that do like Chewy bars, Nature Valley, Lucky Charms, Cheetos, and there's so many more throughout the country. And it's like the article is based in Grand Rapids, but it's literally across the country. You are gonna find this happening. Like even here in New York, you're gonna find children working in hours they should not have to work, in dangerous situations. And it just pissed me off because I feel like this is just like America continues to find ways to have a slave labor to do the things that other people can't or do not want to do. And people will turn a blind eye because it's not impacting them. And it's like, just because you're not a migrant person or you don't have family who are migrants or whatever, does not mean this should not be important to you. Any child who is in this country should be here, going to school, having fun, going to prom, doing weird random shit that children do, not going to school and then working a 12-hour shift at a plant. At one girl, I forgot the plant she works at, but it was talking about people who had been, this one woman had her scalp ripped off from the equipment because it got pulled on her hairnet. Just like things that I remember reading about in middle and high school when they were talking about the child labor laws. Because I don't know if I'm sure every school in America has had those courses, but I remember when we were learning about the child labor laws and how they were enacted in like the early 1900s, and they had pictures of like 5 and 6-year-olds in the different factories, and some of them had like lost limbs or fingers and stuff like that because they were smaller, they were doing the work that was like easier to do for people at that size. And I remember being so horrified learning about that point in our history. And now that the pendulum is swinging back and not enough people are actively caring because they're still getting the indulgences that they desire, whether it's cereal, clothing, house stuff. Like, there's no real barrier to keep the children safe. And regardless of how a child comes here, they should be safe. And they should be allowed to roam free, have fun. And I mean, a lot of it does go into the sponsors who are bringing them here. Sometimes they're family, sometimes they're not. But it's a very much like a slave labor of like, oh, I'm gonna sponsor you to come here. But then when you come here, now you owe me the money that I spent to sponsor you, the legal fees, the school fees, etc. Now, so you gotta have to work at the plant. But then also these companies who they're telling the managers, hey, we're noticing someone looks really young on the line, and they're not doing anything. And that it breaks my heart. I cannot imagine what these children are going through. And I just want everyone to just really be paying attention to where they're getting their food, who's making the food for them, and how that's going to be impacting their lives. Because a lot of these companies in this article were like big places that are like big name brands who have millions and billions of dollars who can pay for adult workers to come in, but they don't want to, or they don't care that children are being exploited. And I think when we talk about exploited children, a lot of times people will think about like sex trafficking or something like that. But this is also exploitative work, because this is not like they're on a farm and they're waking up at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. to feed the cows or whatever. This is dangerous, backbreaking work that is keeping them away from being in school, their regular study, and we just need to push back. Excuse me, in whatever way possible. So that's it. That's what's making me. I had hiccups. That's what's making me angry this week.
Okay, yeah. Put your hands in the air, like up in the air, up in the air. Put your hands in the air, suck air, swallow it, and drink something.
Suck and swallow, sure.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, the parents, if they're migrant children, some of their parents are back in wherever they're from. A lot of these kids are coming from, like, Central America, and their parents are back home, or guardians are back home, and so they'll have aunts and uncles or cousins or whatever here in the States checking to sponsor them, and then or even, like, a family friend or someone they just know will sponsor them. So a lot of them are coming here without their parents, which one of the... sources in the article said has been a big change for them in their career as a social worker, because before, when people were being sponsored, it was mostly by their family coming up to bring them here, but now it's these like kind of third parties, and they're bringing them here, and they're exploiting them because they know they need to bring money to their families. And then they're like, oh, well, you're going to be another mouth to feed in my household, so you have to pay. So it's just like, it's a very terrible, dark, twisted circle. And we need to, like, actually have things done about this. That's not just, like, closing the border, because that's not actually going to help. There's still going to be migrant children who are coming. But yeah, now,
so this is just something that I thought about, but I am happy that I'm not going to say names. I'm going to keep this as it is. I am happy that reconnection is happening, but I did not make the first move. I did not make the first call. So please stop saying that that's what happened.
Right.
Because I looked through my phone
What?
to double check to make sure that it wasn't me, and it wasn't me.
Did that happen today? Someone said that?
The individual that I'm talking about,
Yes.
they've been saying that, yeah, they were following up on a call from me. They told me that, and I was like, yeah, no, I didn't.
You didn't. But
I didn't.
It's a good thing that it's happening.
It's a good thing that it's happening, but let the record just be known. I did not do that first. Okay?
Yes.
You should be proud. Be the bigger man that, like, actually reached out first. That's good that you did. That's fantastic that you reached out first. Like, that shows pride, and, you know, you put it aside and everything like that. That's great. That is great. Now own it. Own it. Own it. Own it. You don't have to say that it was me first. I ain't do shit.
Well, now we're going to go on to our favorite time on the podcast. And this is where we talk about the things that made us happy.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you our service and no damn fuss. With a baby merchant, just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you. Nas, if you want to text me and ask me what that little diatribe was, I will definitely answer said text. But I cannot and will not give more details on this podcast, just because I do not know who is listening, and therefore I'm not. I know some people are going to be listening, but, like, I don't need that to come back to me in a bad way. Lord knows I do not want any more awkward family meetings.
Oh, all right. So, what is making you happy this week?
I went first last time. You go first.
Oh, okay. Well, number one, I got to see my babies. And I didn't even get to see just one.
Kata.
I got to see Kata. Mm-hmm. I got to see Dins. Mm-hmm. And I got to see my sister's best friend's new baby. His name is Ellington, and he's 100% the Duke.
Aww.
He's so cute, so squishy, so sweet, has a huge head of hair. Just loved him. But I got to see my babies. I got to also see some of my sister's best friends who are like my big sisters. I love them. I was very excited. I got to see my sister, of course, which makes me happy.
Yeah, I can tell.
No, of course.
From the enthusiasm.
It always makes me happy to see her, but I'm like, okay, right now she's getting overshadowed by Kata. Mm-hmm. Even though he's poopy and grumpy, he's a little old man, and he doesn't want anyone else to touch him besides her. But should I get it? He's a pandemic baby. These pandemic babies, they are just like, I'm about the person who gave birth to me and the partner, and that's it. And I understand that because, like, it's your mom. You want to be with her all the time. What else is making me happy? Well, I will say I am happy about the new roles that I've taken on at work. Mm-hmm. Even though it gives me extra work to do, I do feel really excited to, like, execute. And I'm proud of myself for just in general speaking up, saying how I feel, and being transparent, which I think that I have been striving to do. I haven't always been the best at, even though I thought I was. But I'm grateful that I am doing that now. And I look forward to more transparency in the future. But I think that's it. Well, okay, well, that's not it. I'm also immeasurably happy to be doing this podcast with you.
Aww.
As always.
Okay.
I love spending time with you and getting to chat with you and talk about all these things. So that is what is making me super happy this week. Oh, and also we got to see Ant-Man this week.
Yes, we did.
And Jonathan Majors, you can't see him and not feel happy.
I had a major boner for Jonathan Majors.
Didn't we all?
Yes.
If you didn't have a major boner for Jonathan Majors, I don't know.
Both my heart and my hard. He's a handsome man. He's a handsome fucking Civil War face ass man.
Can you please tell me what else you are happy about this week, please?
Doing this podcast with you. Reconnecting with my cousin.
Okay.
What? That was a good thing.
Yeah, but you literally just yelled about that. You should have not given specifications.
No one knows that those two things are connected. If you hadn't have said anything, those could have been isolated. Those could have been two different fucking things.
You used reconnection in that last segment, so people would have known.
I don't know if anybody would have picked that up.
I think they would have.
I don't know.
But
hey. Well, no one knows. No one knows. No one knows. No one listens to this.
Heaven knows.
Except for my uncle and my mom.
Shout out to Uncle Roy.
Shout out to wrong uncle. Uncle
right.
Buster.
Uncle Buster. Shout out to Uncle Buster.
Shout out to Uncle Buster.
I was thinking about your grandpa.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I do have an Uncle Roy. He's named after.
No. I know him, and I was thinking about him because I was like, oh, that's what your uncle's named after. But all right.
Got you. Yeah. No. But yeah, it's good that I'm reconnecting with family. That's fantastic. Fine. You can also listen back to what I said in my grumps as far as that is concerned. But it is good overall in a whole.
I'm happy for that.
It is. I'm looking forward to a mini vacation that I'm having. I'm going down to DC to hang out with my friends. So I'm looking forward to that.
Is that your hair?
Yeah. Shout out to you. Hey. And so that should be fun. I have Friday off and Monday off. So that's my mini vacation to myself. Yeah, look at the hearts. Taking some time, much needed time to myself, and that's pretty much it. That's everything that's been good this week. I can't think of anything else.
All right, that's great.
I've been doing a lot of winning in Risk, so that's been great.
Ugh.
The win-loss ratio has shifted.
Your win-loss ratio was always higher than mine.
But there was a time where it was started swinging back to your always winning.
No.
And
just
now it started to swing back over to me winning.
Doesn't mean that I was always winning. I just was winning
there was a thing where like you decided like, hey, I'm gonna get out all the other countries and stack up on all my stars, and I'm just like,
only reason I do that is because if you don't, they're gonna attack you, and then I'm gonna be decimated.
Sure, but then I had to change my strategy, and I was like, okay, all right, I see what you're doing. So now I'm gonna do the same thing and also stick to my secret strategy.
It's not a secret.
It is a secret.
But I've enjoyed playing Risk with you this week, and I've enjoyed spending time with you this week. And now I think that we're all done, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's everything.
All right, so hey, folks, don't forget, follow us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you have podcasts. That's where we're gonna be.
Yeah.
And like, subscribe, share us.
Stay tuned for us on Wednesdays.
Wednesday
because
we will be
do
back.
Watch Out Wednesdays.
Watch out now on Wednesday. We're
For
watching
Kaleidoscope.
Kaleidoscope. We took a departure this week because we had gone to see Ant-Man, but we're right back in Kaleidoscope. We're almost to the end.
Yes.
So stick with us.
And maybe after this, we can do one for the various seasons of Snowfall. We'll see.
Hey, I will watch Snowfall with you.
We'll see.
I don't mind. So yeah, like, share us, like us, comment, subscribe, give us 5 stars, all that good stuff. And tune in. Well, next week will be on Wednesday, but we will probably not be here for Friday because he's going to be away.
Yes.
So you got to get in where you fit in, you know?
Unless you do like an early morning one.
What early morning one?
I don't know. Like if we did an early morning Friday episode of the podcast.
I doubt that's gonna.
I also doubt because.
But who
you
knows?
snore like a log until 10 o'clock.
I don't know why you're trying to shade me right now. Well, we had a great sign on.
Yeah, we did. I was waiting for you to finish.
Anyway,
So that we can wrap this up and get the fuck on out of here.
Wrap this up. And see y'all later, okay? And happy 2 years of podcasting.
Happy 2 years of podcasting.
To us.
Yes.
Send us a cake or money or something.
Yes.
Join us on
Money.
Anchor or something. We get money on there somehow.
Yes.
So do that. Send us money on Anchor.
All right. Take it easy. Keep
Bye.
it sleazy. Bye. Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorice is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD, THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.